Downtown, I got that heat, let's go.
Yeah. Yo, B,
What is, sir?
What's good, homie? Happy Friday. Happy Good Friday.
Happy Good Friday, you all.
Yeah, man. It's like a holiday, sort of, right?
Yeah, it's Good Friday, I believe.
So some people might have been off work, dude. Maybe.
Yup.
Yeah. EM, what up?
Oh, what's up, guys?
How do?
Oh, just another week of work.
Yeah.
That's what I do now.
Busy or just standard?
Very.
Yeah. Let's say hello to some people in the live chat hanging out with us early. We'll call them the early squad. What up, Kevin? Salute to you. Shack to 6. Did Verizon come up with a plan that shocked the other carriers? I don't think it's about shocking. I think it's the way I view it, they incrementally continue to improve their plans and their portfolio. I think is it's basically the evolution of their business strategy.
This particular change as of recently provoked the gears are turning at the competition.
Oh, sure, I believe it. Yeah. Because in my opinion, I think it addresses a few pain points that some customers may have been holding back to maybe consider Verizon for those reasons. Like the one thing I did when I first dropped the video, I compared this version of the Unlimited Ultimate to the T-Mobile One plan, if you guys remember it, back when it had the International One, the T-Mobile One International add-on.
Mm-hmm.
Basically got high speed hotspot unlimited. And you got all that extra international roaming, the international calling and texting and stuff. it really started. It's starting to feel like that type of plan, and that plan was legendary for so long, and people still have it and hold on to it and don't want to give it up. So I think this is the version of the T-Mobile One plan for the Verizon customer. Now, the only thing that's different, T-Mobile One had taxes and fees included. T-Mobile One also had Netflix included. Like, there were some of those types of things, but I think in this day and age, the competitive climate's just different. There's only so much you could do as a business to where things just start costing too much to operate that. And, we saw Verizon pull back on some of those things with the Disney bundle, like having to sell it as opposed to give it away and that sort of thing.
Also, that was in an era where T-Mobile was willing to
punching from the bottom, right?
Right. They were willing to sacrifice their bottom line to grow.
Sure.
And what have we seen now that they don't want to do that anymore?
Well, Ian, what's kind of unfortunate is we got companies moving in different directions. I see Verizon, as their network gets better, they're more competitive, promotionally active, and engaged with the customer. I'm seeing T-Mobile ostracizing some of their customer base. What would you say?
I think that's accurate. It seems like T-Mobile is, rather than the shell shock of forcing all of their customers off these old legacy unlimited plans, they've gone the route of, we're just going to kind of keep punching you till you get rid of it, And they haven't really added any value to any of their plans in a while. And I would argue that the Go 5G line of plans is worse than Magenta was.
Absolutely. It was a step backwards.
Which was worse than T-Mobile One. Like, they just kind of keep getting worse.
I mean, Magenta MAX was essentially like the best plan they had made up to that point because of the network that came with it. But like, in terms of value, T-Mobile One was better. So like, each time they drop a plan change, shit's getting worse.
Yeah, well, and they're having a very similar problem to what Verizon had during the mix and match days. They don't have enough incentive to take the top end plan. Like, if you remember back in the day with the what was it? Start, play more, do more.
That, are you talking about before that, or are you talking about that era?
No, it applied in that era too, but really in that, when they had the 4 plans.
Okay.
It was very common to see an entire account on the middle tier plans because there just wasn't enough incentive to go with that more expensive plan.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they kind of tried, they changed some things around, but it really didn't help a whole lot. So you never had a whole lot of premium, like ultra premium uptake to your top end offering. And I think T-Mobile has that same problem now. Their plan is too expensive. It doesn't offer enough to the customer that they're willing to pay the extra 10 or 15 bucks a month for that top end plan, because that Go 5G Plus plan is good enough for most people.
But you know what's kind of messed up? I never thought this day was going to come. See, before, the best thing about T-Mobile was the plans. Now the best thing about T-Mobile is their network. Their plans are like, their best plan's $100 a month. So I feel like they've priced themselves out of realistic customer additions. Like, if I want to pay $100 a month for a phone plan, like, I got to have a $2,000 phone. I need to have everything. I need to have the best phone plan in the industry. No negotiations. There is no way anybody could tell me that the $100 plan from T-Mobile is the best plan in the industry. It is not. I think at this point, it's pretty clear that the best plan in the industry is the unlimited ultimate plan. Like, and that wasn't the case before. I think Verizon just kind of created a little bit of separation amongst the competition, because the AT&T plan, I mean, when they changed it, when they changed the name and added the dollar and all that, they just gave people a few more gigs of hotspot data, raised the DPRIO threshold, and called it a day. All that for $1, bro. Where was the value? Where was the value? See, this is what and this is the conversation we had the last time about AT&T. Where's their position within the industry? Like, they give good phone deals, but that's been a thing for 5 years now. So what are we gonna do? We're just gonna stay with this and call it a day? Are we just gonna put this on the table and say, here it is, take it or leave it, and we're not gonna innovate anymore? We're not gonna move anymore? I mean, all this talk about fiber and all this, it's cool, bro. I get it, but like, are we gonna neglect the wireless competitive nature? You know?
Yes, and don't forget how AT&T said, "Psych, you're gonna pay for those low pings and for $70 more."
Turbo is what, a $7 feature now?
Yeah.
Shout out to Giancarlo. I've never seen a more loaded plan. Way better than T-Mobile's. Hey, Speed Test Channel. What's up, Bretta? Happy Easter to you, man. I dropped you the link over on the X. Go ahead, man. Pop in. What up, Seth? Good to see you. A member. Thank you for all that you guys do. All the members and the patrons. Thank you. What up, Spec Ops? What up, what up, what up? Toolman1990 said, the AT&T cellular site that serves my area went down for over 12 hours. No data, texting, and dropping calls with one-way audio. Toolman, you're going to get $1 credit for that 12-hour outage.
Yeah,
I just want you to know they're going to give you a $1 credit. Just thought I'd let you know.
Assholes.
See that's what really that's what sucks about working or living in rural. You have one cell site that serves your area, your town. If it's a localized outage, you're dead in the water until they fix it. Like, at least in the city, you've got overlapping coverage.
Well, so my tower site went down for modifications a few years ago, and I was connecting to the neighboring cell, and if I was outside, I was on edge for band 66. You know, if I was inside, I was on like band 5 or band 13, but like it was still usable, dude. It was crazy. I mean, I was getting like 10, 15 meg, but it was cool, bro. I was surviving, you know?
You're able to do the essentials.
Sure. I was watching high def video.
You're doing more than the essentials.
Exactly. Like if you would have gotten calls and texts and been like, damn, I just got to tough this out for a few days or whatever, a week maybe. Most modifications, 2 weeks at most?
It depends. I think it depends on what type of modification you're talking about.
They built the site in 2019, maybe 2020, so it was pretty modern, but like they did N77, they did CBRS, they did probably the plumbing, for fiber, and baseband probably got upgraded, I'd assume.
Yeah. Well, like some of the larger modifications, like what AT&T is doing, those Nokia to Ericsson swaps, those can take multiple weeks of work.
Yeah.
Because you're literally ripping and replacing everything.
My school site took almost 2 weeks. It was like 11 days, I think.
Yeah. And it's the same story with T-Mobile and Verizon when they're doing full out, rip and replaces. It can take a while. Ideally with minimal impact to service, but it's one of those things. It's going to happen, especially because everyone wants to modernize their networks right now.
Shout out to Justin. Appreciate you being here. Speed Test Channel link is in the X messages. Love to have you on. Hey, Seth. I'm doing good, man. Thanks for asking. Hope all is well in your world. Oh, yeah. Speed Test Channel. What up?
What up?
Yo, shout out to Speed Test Channel. He broke the seal. We got us a super chat. Thanks, man.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, man.
What's up?
What up, Blind Tech Adventures? Welcome to the YouTube membership. Thank you. Shout out from Central Cali. How's weather in Central Cali right now? Bet you it's nice.
Love Central Cali.
What's up, Cleaver? Nice to see Verizon's take on AT&T's former business mode preferred plan. He's right, dude. It was like that plan. That's true. I remember when Carlos had these plans. That's how it was. Absolutely.
Talking about the MyBiz plan or whatever?
What was that from like 4 years ago, 5 years ago? It was really nice, dude. And the rate was crazy. I remember Carlos was getting a crazy good rate. As soon as the rate doubled, we were out of there, man. It just, it didn't make any sense. How the hell are you going to double the rate, dude? It's a little harsh. Can't wait until the Nokia gear is gone. Yeah, good luck with that, man. That's there's always growing pains with the improvements in networks. But it's the Ericsson performance on AT&T is stellar, so it's a lot to look forward to. Doing good as well. Glad to see another podcast. Appreciate you, Seth. All right, so
I do like the take on the new business plans. The logic is there. As a small business, you want to, give your employees what they need and not overpay. And
oh shit,
holy smokes!
Thanks, Plaid Tech Adventures, man. You guys are the best, man. Oh man, it's always supporting the channel, man. Wow, I really do appreciate you guys. And you know what? I always reinvest into the channel. I always do, man. I'm always trying to do as much as I can. I always do, because you guys deserve it. I'm always testing services. I'm always trying to make videos, testing different features. Right now, I'm in the heart of pushing this, Verizon Unlimited Ultimate hotspot thing. I've used 100 gigs in 2 days. I'm gonna do an additional 50 gigs tomorrow, and then another 50 gigs after that, and get you guys a follow-up video on it. So, oh, Nimmer's back! Yay! Got rid of my work here. That's amazing, man. Glad all is well, and very happy to see you, man. It's been a while. Very happy that you're back and well. Jose said, "Me likey." Must be talking about the plans. All right, let's do this. Let's just jump in. And you guys are a decent sized panel, so we can get some good perspectives on this. Let's do this. I kind of wish B was here, because he'd hit us with the whole, I told you so, and B was right, and all that stuff. You guys know how it is. All right.
I was hoping to see B.
I know, right? Me too, man. Now B gets mad at me sometimes, bro. How I play the contrarian piece. I always got to flip that. But like, that's what I got to do, bro. The universe requires balance. You know what I'm saying? We can't all be on one side of the boat, or else we're gonna top over.
No, it's gonna turn from a discussion to a lecture then.
Yeah, right. El Paisa, what's up? He said that Verizon is king, sir. All righty, man. I got you. Hey, you guys been liking the goat thumbnails, man? I've been getting mixed signals on the goat thumbnails.
I was curious if you saw anything, from your point of view. You saw, I don't know. They say thumbnails can make or break a video. I was just curious what the stats were showing on your end.
I haven't noticed anything, like good or bad. I haven't seen a difference in anything. The reason I do the goats is because I feel like that word gets thrown around so much, like goat and goated, and when talking about like levels of excellence, so like, I don't know, just use some AI to make some thumbnails, man. I don't know. Some of them came out kind of funny. Some people got mad about the one with the Pope on it. Did you see that one?
I don't think I saw that one, but I've been getting a kick out of them. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, well, Brandon, you remember when we did the one with the Pope? I thought it was good timing. Easter coming up, Easter Sunday. I was like, yo, let's tie in the religious piece, But apparently, some people got upset about that. What up, Finny? The panel should get goat shirts. Maybe I could do that, bro. Should I work on some merch with like carrier goat colors and goats and AI goats and such? Subscribe, the YouTube subscribe button. I don't know. They'll think of something. We know we got to do the more chicken thing for B, for sure. Definitely got to do that. All right. So, Verizon's got an enhanced version of their plan now. I don't know. We found the internal documentation on it, so we dropped the video. I was a little hesitant to kind of talk about the terms because I didn't have access to them. Some content creators described, the terms, what they thought it was going to be, and it ended up being a little bit different. That's okay. That's normal. Sometimes you don't always have the best information at the, right away in the beginning, but we kind of waited for the terms to officially drop. And I think we like what we see. I know a lot of people are upset about, like, it's not unlimited hotspot because it's not high speed. I don't think people understand, man. Like, it can't be unlimited high speed, like 500 megabits per second. Even if you're like, on a tower site that's doesn't have high utilization, you just can't have that. There's like a business principle to this. Like, without a doubt, somebody is going to get this plan and try to use it as a home internet replacement. Not only just tax the tower, but also sap it of its capacity to the point where it's going to be hard to monetize. And they just can't jeopardize it. Like, if you want home internet, then get a Verizon home internet box. And it's going to cost you $35 a month or $45 a month if you get like the more premium plan. I don't understand the objection to that. Like, they've upgraded the tower. It's got a 10 gig fiber circuit. It's got all of the, frequencies broadcasting. Why won't you play by the rules? Like, you go to McDonald's and you don't just start taking handfuls of fries from the fryer. Unlimited fries. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an unlimited data plan. You don't have to worry about your usage. But you can't use it as a home internet. So it's like you're breaking the rules.
It's one of those things that you'll never be able to please the entire room. That's kind of what you have to.
Yeah, I think 99% of people understand the concept of unlimited data. The goal is to use it responsibly in an unlimited fashion, meaning you use it every day for everything you need, right? That's the way the mobile network's supposed to be used. Mobile networks are not designed to be home internet replacements. If that's the requirement, you got to get the fixed wireless access home internet box. Why can't we play by the rules? So, I don't know. I really don't want to hear the people complaining in the comments of videos talking about it's not really unlimited. The hell it's not. Because when I get to that 200 gig and I'm going to be shuttered down to 6 meg, I'm going to show you what I can do with that connection. I'm going to show you how I could do a 1080p. I'm going to show you how I can connect 2 devices. And both of them can do most of what I need them to. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then we'll see if it's unlimited still. Because the last I checked, T-Mobile won't let me do this and AT&T won't let me do this for now. If they decide to change and pivot, we'll get to that point. Cool. But I'm just saying. People are like, oh, visible is better. How? How is visible better? How? What? Because what?
They don't shut me off when I speed test gigs and gigs and gigs, but Verizon did.
Which plan?
I had the the most expensive consumer grade Verizon 5G one that you could get. I think you'd actually done a video on it when they sent me that letter. I hadn't even used that much, but I had a legacy Visible Plus plan that I've used to speed test on for years, and I've never had Visible throttle me or yell at me.
But this is supposed to be this. Am I missing something about Unlimited Ultimate? I thought it was supposed to be unlimited priority network access. I mean, what is there something in the terms that I don't know about?
Yeah, I mean, I guess unlimited is only unlimited until they deem that I was using it in a way that violates terms of service, I guess. I mean, that's what their threatening email to me said, that I must have rooted my device or was using it for hotspot or something like that.
Same thing that they said to Lawrence?
Was that on his US Mobile thing?
No. His was on his Verizon plan.
I got you.
Yeah. His was. I wonder if it's the same thing. I'll ask him. But
yeah, I don't know. I switched over to a business plan then after my nightmare in the store, where I was in the store for 5 hours and walked away with 9 account numbers before they got me an account. But they haven't threatened me since I switched to the business account.
So they don't flag business lines, but they flag consumer lines.
That's what it seems like.
Sheesh, man. And you know what? Actually, that makes total sense, because I remember talking to a guy from Root, and he told me that they have to use business lines because of that.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. And it's not because they're killing towers. Remember, they're moving the whole time.
Right. So was I. I mean, I was on a
like 5
trip
minutes,
to the Midwest.
Yeah. Right. Oh, there's your solution for anybody who's getting letters from BZ, man. Get on a business line. Oh shit.
And it was cheaper than the consumer line.
Yeah. Business lines can be cheaper. Well, so how many lines were on the account?
It was just a single line account in both cases.
Interesting. Anyways, speed test channel, Crow's Nest, Mr. Crow's Nest. Tell me about the unlimited ultimate enhancements to the plan. You liking them? Think there's steps in the right direction?
I honestly, since I got that letter from Verizon, I've been a little upset at them, and I've mostly been ignoring them. I've been more excited about Visible's new plan. It's been fun watching Carlos abuse that and work around it. But yeah, I haven't followed this announcement very close at all.
They added international calling to 210 countries. They're including it within the plan. And they upgraded the international roaming. So you're getting a little additional data, high-speed data. And then once you go over that amount of high-speed data, it brings you down to 1.5 megabits. I think previously it was 3G speeds. So you're basically like tripling the throughput. They just, without charging you more, because the unlimited ultimate plan is a premium plan. It's not priced cheap. They enhance the plan features, I think, to just make it better. You know, and if they were charging more for these things, I wouldn't feel good about this. But the fact that they left pricing alone and just added the value is why I think it's worth celebrating on some extent.
I think interesting to see Carlos's comment there about network slicing and how that's going to affect speed testing.
All right, speed testing will be a thing of the past. I've seen the network slicing Verizon is doing for my Connect and Visible, and all the prepaid will be speed capped hard coming soon. Max 100 megs on N77 or N261. So he's talking about the 5G ultra wideband connections. All right, Spec Ops says, personally say Visible Plus Pro is better in my opinion because 15 megabit per second hotspot is plenty for everything on a smartphone. The only thing you cannot do is stream 4K, but who cares? So I guess that could be a deal breaker for some. They would have to choose. Fixed wireless would be capped as well. It already is. All right. David wants to know, Crow's Nest, how much data were you using before Verizon was flagging you? He uses 200 gigs a month and hasn't been flagged. Yeah, I think Crow's Nest he's speed testing. He can do 200 gigs in a day probably if he was just spamming the.
Yeah, I think I was like at 300 gig for 2 months in a row, and then I had a month where I was at like 980 gig, and then the month that I got the letter, I was like at 120 gig. So it must have been something over that 900 gig that tripped the flag.
But don't they typically want to see that type of usage over like 2 months in a row or something?
That was what I thought. That's why I was a little perplexed, because not only was I traveling, several thousand miles on that month where I did get close to a terabyte, but the month before and the month after were, well under 500 gig.
I've already used 150 gigs on Visible Plus Pro. No complaints from Visible or anything throttling of any kind.
Yeah, same. I've run Visible Plus
notifications. Do they ever do that?
I don't know. My Visible Plus line, I've run it over a terabyte repeatedly, and I've never got throttled or yelled at.
4K streaming on a smartphone is just overkill. Most Galaxy phones top out at 1440p. True. I don't even know if it's real 4K content anyways. Might just be upscaling it just to show you that it's 2160.
Video compression's a wild thing.
I know, man. I mean, I'm a stickler for full HD at least.
Oh, me too.
Give me full HD at least. Oh shit. Ah, damn. Another one, man. Another one. S Blue Tech, man. Thank you, bro. Haven't seen you in a long time. It's really good to have you on the show, hanging out with us, man. A super sticker. We've had a few tonight. You guys are amazing. Thanks for the support, man. Wow. So generous, man. Thank you. Beautiful.
I think the only thing that 4K like quote unquote 4K video offers you is like a read ahead on your video if you're streaming and traveling, you know.
Sure.
It allows the video to buffer more, but like YouTube, you're not getting true 4K video on YouTube or even Netflix or any of the other streaming services that don't let you select a resolution. It's going to automatically downscale that resolution anyways. Like,
sometimes you can tell when when they're lying to you. Like it'll say 1080p and you're like, hell no. It's 720p at the best. And I think I've seen some like in betweens, like a 680 or a 640, because it just didn't look right. What up, Dusty? Oh yeah, we know all about that situation outside of Jackman, Maine, dude. We already know, man. Things get hairy. We know. Ellie, what's going on? There was a person saying they used 450 gigs in 8 hours on Visible Plus Pro and got throttled. Was that Los? So is that like the magic number? Is 450 gigs?
I believe so.
I think it's probably the amount of usage and the amount of time that triggers that.
Okay. Yeah, man, it's so much. Golly, man. Like I was trying to tax the network access one time. Like I was trying to, chew up a lot of gigs, like 50, and it was taking me a long time. And it was fast.com speed test. It was running a 4K stream. Like I was working to do it. Like it was taking me, concentration, like repeated mashing. I don't know how you guys are doing it, man.
I remember when millimeter wave launched in Houston, the planet Earth was racing to Houston, and he used terabytes within like 8 hours.
Terabytes?
Yes.
Like plural?
Yup. He was doing speed testing. That dude.
It looks like speed testing is a real problem for the network operators. I think they want this thing to stop. I think certain devices are going to be granted unique speed test access for testing purposes only, like within the company as a tool. I don't think, the network tech enthusiast is going to have access to that kind of throughput for, in the near future. Because, like, think about it. Every speed test you're running that's sapping 1,000 megabits, they ain't happy about that.
Well, I mean if you're on a site that's got a 1 gig circuit and you're getting a 750 meg throughput, you as a single user are sapping up 75% of that site's available capacity at that given time.
Yeah,
and will it scale you back if there's other usage on that site? Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
But in all reality, it doesn't hurt a whole lot, but that's a lot to give to one user.
Well, I think they see that surge happening and they're just like, what the hell? Oh, man. What's up, Don? It would be hilarious if VZ lines used by root metrics ended up accidentally throttled to 100 meg. Actually, that's probably all they need. I think their threshold for like speeds, if they produce more than 50 megabit, I think it's considered a fast speed test, which I think is fair, actually. Even if it was 100 meg, I think that's more than plenty. Here's D Money saying that the stream is at 720p. I think the StreamYard program that we use is actually capped to 720p. I don't have the premium feature on this one. Sometimes I do the streams using Streamlabs. That's definitely 1080p. So next time I'll try to remember to do that. David says speed testing is where I use a chunk of my data. If I travel to new areas, I'll speed test it to map out on Coverage Map. Man, the Coverage Map community is strong, aren't they? All right, here's Clever's comment. Sliding window algorithm for network management. Usage pace plus time frame of usage equals subjection to this method. All right, he's talking about the network management tools.
Well, and I've always said that's why 5G home internet is never going to make tons of people happy. I mean, it's taken off more than I thought it would, but there's always going to be that. I mean, didn't Ookla just say that recent report that the medium average of 5G home internet, has continued to go up, but from like 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. in the evening, Verizon and T-Mobile's averages were like 12 megabits and 15 megabits respectively. So, and I just feel like, that's why it's never going to be the right fit for the masses.
The window of usage, is the most critical part for FWA.
The only exception to that rule, in my humble and uneducated opinion, is millimeter wave.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a broadband connoisseur by any means, but with that amount of spectrum and the ability to, kind of, I'm going to use, this is probably the wrong term to use, but segregate your users to a specific, piece of equipment that's very close to them.
Right.
There's less impact on the overall network.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I think with millimeter wave, the thing is number of users. When you have that wide of channels as a whole, generally, I'd be interested to know from Verizon Engineering what they limit that. I think Verizon's pretty careful when they sell 5G home internet. How many users per sector. Be interesting to know what that number is on an N77 versus a millimeter wave one.
Yeah, facts.
I think it would be really cool if, at some point in the future, they were able to say, hey, you millimeter wave home broadband customer, you get this 50 megahertz chunk of millimeter wave spectrum, and that's yours. And then your neighbor gets 50, or and you have dedicated spectrum for a specific broadband device.
But what never comes up though, EM, and I think it's a factor for Verizon at least. Unlicensed spectrum utilization. That's a lever that VZ can pull. With CBRS and it going NR.
Right, but with the SAS and all of the restrictions around CBRS, when you want to, and Speed Test Channel can probably, talk about this a little bit more accurately than I can. There's a lot of variability with CBRS because of the SAS. You could have a site that has 80 megahertz of GAA on air, 365 days or 364 days out of the year, and then one day the SAS system says, "Hey, you can't broadcast that for whatever reason." You don't want to have that wishy-washy, do I have it or do I not? When you're talking about home broadband, there's just a different level of baseline reliability that you need in order to offer that service.
Right, but we're talking about GAA and they've got PALs too. So I'm looking at that, and then the potential of those rules to change. Now it's just even more upside if that happens.
That's fair. I think the rules definitely have to change first before that enters the conversation.
I don't know how much they need to change. I don't know what it's going to entail. I don't know the technicals like that. I just know that if there was a little bit of improvement to that, I think it goes a long way because the expectations aren't very high for band 48. They never were, and it didn't cost a lot of money. And with a little bit extra power, I think it's actually could be a macro band, especially with a tight grid like Verizon's within their top 100 markets or whatever.
Yeah, if they stay off the coast, there's this map where they have these clear lines drawn, with the exception of some military bases and the east and the west coast. Your chances of incumbent activity and having SAS yank a channel from you are very, very low. And the fact that there's 150 megahertz and you can't use more than 80 at any given on any given site radio, a lot of those radios have the ability to choose those channels dynamically. So if SOS takes 10 here, they can add 10 over there. If they're using 80, they've got 70 more to pick from. So, you stay in away from the ocean, your odds of having that availability, 99.999% of the time are pretty high. Like here in central Pennsylvania, we've never seen incumbent activity on any of our SOS channel or our GAA.
I bet you that's the case in most instances.
Right, right.
Like what number of radios? Like if let's say there's 20,000 active radios of it, how many have ever tripped? However many have been shut down by the SAS. I mean, I've heard people say that it can happen, and they have seen it happen. It's just, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like something that's happening frequently.
Yeah, it can happen. And, like I said, even the radios we use have the ability to jump dynamically if the SOS says, hey, you can't have this channel anymore. And there's occasionally, there's false positives where you'll see a hit briefly and it'll say due to incumbent activity, and then it'll come back and it was like, oh no, it was like a false positive.
Yeah, maybe they need to improve that system. Yeah. The manager, whoever that is.
They've really cracked down on that. I mean, it's got much, much better. Earlier, it was plagued with SOS outages. Every time the SOS provider would go down, your radios would quit broadcasting. Now you've got like 48 hours that you can continue broadcasting.
Now that you bring it up, dude, sometimes I would drive by a CBRS small cell and it wouldn't connect to band 48.
Yeah,
I wonder if it was triggered.
Yep, could easy be.
Yeah.
But I agree with you that, give it a little bit more power. I think for Verizon with the dense grid, it could become a macro band.
Just get it up high enough, right?
Yep.
Try to get it over the tree line. Be cool.
At least if they can aggregate it to something else, heck, it's 80 megahertz spectrum.
It may never be like an indoor one, like how PCS and AWS are. You know how they work pretty good indoors?
Right.
I don't know if it'd ever be that, but like blast it to get to someone's front door. You know what I'm saying? So they could do as much as possible, Yeah,
no, it's more like an N77.
Yeah.
What they need is to move it over to NR. That's because right now, if you've got a 5G phone, you are never going to connect to that CBRS ever.
Right.
B doesn't think so.
Man, it's just we got sites. You get a site with 160, 180, or even those markets that have 200 megahertz of C-band. You slap another 80 megahertz of TDD there. That's a lot of tools to play with.
Yeah. Yeah, I think all 3 gigahertz frequencies need to be on all small cells and all macros. Absolutely.
Toolman wants to know, would CBRS be better for small cells? Yes. Because of the power restrictions, it's definitely better for a small cell.
It needs to be on everything. Everything, all things, every day, all day. And all the PALs and all the GAA, everything, all the time.
It would be nice.
And it needs to be on both sides of the network too, not just downlink. To hell with this. Bro, listen, there's nothing more that I want than 10 gig fiber circuits on every site. CBRS, C-band on every site, a mmWave node on every site. I'm telling you, man, put all things on all sites. Infinite funding. Spare no expense, man. Chicken for everybody. All right, so we had these changes to these plans, and I wanted to kind of run this by you guys. So I'm really critical of carriers. That's what I do. That's my job. I'm always really hard on them. I'm always investigating. I'm always questioning. I'm always pushing, prying. But like, I'm seeing a lot of good things from VZ, and I think it's connected to a specific person. So postpaid. Just talking about Verizon postpaid. Verizon recently announced free satellite messaging with their Skylo partnership. You've got the unlimited ultimate plan enhancements, right? Bringing extra value to that plan. You have industry best trade-in, right? Promotions, devices, and promos on phones. Industry best BYOD. Industry best perk add-on portfolio. I mean, T-Mobile's is pretty good, but they just don't have the richness. Like they have Netflix on us, they got tax and fees included, so like they have things, but just that diversity of stuff with the add-ons is really extensive with Verizon. They have like 15 things. Verizon's now giving out loyalty credits for 12 months. If you call, they'll give you a $10 credit per line. They're doing a nice job with the convergence, so mobility services plus the home internet. They're doing it with fixed wireless access 5G home internet. They're doing it with Fios. They got the Frontier thing going on, right? That's something we're monitoring. I think Verizon's got more price competitive, especially when it comes to certain consumer segments. Like they were doing the 4 lines with 4 iPhone 16s for $100 a month. Like that was crazy to me. I didn't think they were willing to do that, but they did. And then from prepaid, the visible plan enhancements, and now having those 3 plans, like what you were saying, Dwayne, I think the track phone brands are as strong as they've ever been. I think the trade-in device credits on total are incredible. Verizon is willing to support MVNO via the cable operators who give out free lines of service and offer cheap, rates on plans. Again, in prepaid, you can also get convergence with mobile services and home internet. Straight Talk, Total, Visible, they all get you a discount with home broadband. Prepaid now has premium plans, and it also has the cost-sensitive customer in mind. I'm seeing so much stuff that Verizon has been doing for the last 2 years. Like it's tied to Sampath. Like I have to give Hans credit because he put Sampath in that position, but I have to give the guy who's actually doing it the credit. I feel like Sampath has been there while all this was going on behind the scenes, and then all of it is now being delivered to the market and to the industry. As the network has gotten bigger, as the network has gotten better and more available, and there's more capacity, like they're doing more stuff with their offers and their services. I just really like what they're doing holistically because I don't see the same things from T-Mobile. I used to see a lot of these things from T-Mobile. I don't see them as much anymore. And then AT&T, I feel like they've just been blah. Like they've had great device promos, but I don't see anything innovative from them or even anything creative. Like it's almost like they operate in their own vacuum and they don't really care what the hell's going on. I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about that, Brandon. Let me start with you, man. Everything I just kind of mentioned, if there's other things I may have missed, go ahead and kind of respond to it.
So the Verizon Ultimate plan, it's a pretty good plan for somebody that's always out and about, doesn't want to use public Wi-Fi. They take their laptop, tablet, or whatever, and they don't want to use public Wi-Fi. They go to a friend's house, they go to a hotel or a campground or something like that, and it just works. Do I see people using it, the 200 gigs as a full time? No. Why? Because it'll probably mess up their phone battery and stuff like that. The international perks, I feel like they're actually really, really good. I feel like Verizon and all the carriers are actually looking at the airlines data to see like how many people are traveling outside the country and stuff like that. And that's probably one of the reasons why they are adding these international perks. T-Mobile, I feel T-Mobile is probably going to maybe do the 200 gigs of hotspot because they currently do it on their business plan, and that's something that Verizon has been doing a long time for the business plans as well. So they more than likely will do it. Now, I don't know about AT&T. AT&T might just redo their plans or stuff like that because their plans are a little bit boring and they have the dollar sign on it or the 99-cent sign. But yeah, that's how I feel. But one of the things that I've noticed about Verizon's website is they look a little desperate.
It looks desperate.
Verizon's website, I feel like it just screams like there's a like a closeout sale or something like that.
I got you. So you're basically saying everything's on sale, like everything for the cheap.
Yes. Like you see all the yellow, red, and all that, like basically like a store's closing colors.
See, I view it as urgency too, but in a different way. I think they're trying to draw attention to it because for
Yeah,
the longest
because
time they didn't do anything like this. Like there was a
they
time where
they
they told
didn't.
people literally, if you don't want to pay what we're charging, then go somewhere else. Remember that? That was for like the first 15 years of the company.
But one of the things that I don't understand, Sneed, is that why is Verizon basically saying we'll do a price like, but then the media will over here say they're doing an increase, and people get mad and they tell other people, and then other people are like, "How is your current carrier?" And then they're like, "Oh, well, Verizon raised my bill by such and such and such." And it's like some of them feel scared of actually going over there because
Well, B,
they raised.
if you
uh
remember, the price locks came after the price increases.
I know, but AT&T, and Verizon are kind of the ones that are doing price hikes. T-Mobile kind of just followed a few months ago,
Yeah.
which I'm pretty sure they're going to feel more comfortable doing it in the long run.
Yeah, it's monkey see, monkey do when it comes to the industry.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's why I think as customers, we need to support the business that gives us the best value and that we feel is giving us the most for our dollar. So I think as consumers, we often think that value is presented based on the price point. Price point's one factor, and it might be the main factor for some people, but there's other angles to this. Like, what are you getting for what you're paying for? Price is what you pay, value is what you get.
Yeah, because one of the things that I will say about Verizon is that they've been very MVNO friendly, and they've even been very friendly with prepaid as well. Because I mean, look what they did a month ago. They did or a couple of weeks back, they did 15 megs of hotspot unlimited, which you could actually do 4K or HD on that, and that is actually really cool. I mean, if you're a full-time college student living in a dorm or whatever, and the Wi-Fi is not good and Verizon's actually good there, you don't really need a home. You don't really need a home internet because most homework and basic video and all that could actually be done with that 15 megs of hotspots. Or even if somebody that's in a lot of debt and they're in nursing school or something like that, they could just be like, you know what, I could just stream Netflix or do video stream or whatever with the 15 meg internet.
But
There's
check
a
this
lot
out.
of
Check this out. Verizon never used to do anything in prepaid. Now they do a lot.
Yeah, because they realize that
talking about Visible. You, me, all of us on this panel will agree. It makes no
right,
sense to get the Visible plan, and it makes all the sense in the world to get the Plus or the Plus Pro.
right.
So paying more gets you so much more. Like they're giving you a reason to be upsold because what you're going to get is just that much better. Like I don't see Crow's Nest or any of these guys who are using the Visible service. They don't want to be on the $25 plan. I mean, why the
No.
hell would you want to? Like you're not even going to get the network access that you should be. Like they built a network with capacity and you don't have access to it. Why would you pay for that?
I mean, I feel like that plan is actually. I mean, there for some people it actually is good. Like for somebody that basically wants to pay a year up front for their grandma or grandparents or give to their dad or whatever, like, and they don't really use data like that. I feel like that's a really good service for them because now with Visible you can actually pay up front the whole year.
Mind you, AT&T and prepaid,
Uh,
nothing. What is Cricket doing?
they literally abandoned their customers. I feel like T-Mobile's making
What's
more
Metro
noise.
doing? They're trying to sell customers $90 plans. What are we talking about here? So I got Verizon doing the most in prepaid. That's pretty obvious. They're as promotionally active and aggressive as they've ever been in postpaid. The network is much better than it was a year ago, which was much better than the year before, which was much better than the year before. I mean, I feel like everything's going in the right direction. And at the same time, I got T-Mobile nickel and diming their customers, their legacy base. I mean, they're making commercials talking about how Verizon and AT&T raise prices. What the hell are they doing?
I have no idea. And I mean, now even their test drives don't even work anymore.
At what point is someone, AT&T, Verizon, someone just going to come out and say it? They're not on carriers anymore, and we're just going to give you guys better deals. And we're just going to give you a better network anyways. Like when is that marketing campaign going to happen?
I mean, one of the things that I will say, Sneed, is that I feel like Verizon is going the extra mile because their quarters don't look good. T-Mobile's quarters have, I mean, they're getting they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're gaining all these customers where they're just like, oh, well, we don't care. And T-Mobile, the past year and plus, they've only offered 50 gigabytes of hotspots, while Verizon has offered more.
Free lines, then what the hell are we talking about?
And let's be clear, but Verizon has had quarter or over quarter improvements since, like, what was it, 2021 or 2022? Like, they consistently have better earnings calls every quarter. So their quarters aren't bad. They're doing better every single quarter. Like, I don't know where this narrative of desperation is coming from, because financially Verizon's doing the best out of the three.
And I would say that T-Mobile is more in an upswing than AT&T.
I don't know what the hell AT&T is doing.
I mean, does T-Mobile give their employees suction cup desks?
I think AT&T has their employees working from the bathrooms now, Sneed, in the HQ.
Yo, Crow's Nest, jump in, man.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about all of the positive things that Verizon is doing, and you nailed many of them. And I kept thinking two things. One, this is the power of N77. All of what Verizon is doing right now is because they've finally scaled N77 and their network can handle it. And so why not? And the second thing is they've got to be at a point where it's like, you know what? Hang it all. We just want to see T-Mobile go down the drain.
But that's not going to happen. T-Mobile's a fierce competitor. They're not going anywhere.
Right, but I think they can. I mean, I think they are putting the hurt on. Like, okay, so Verizon kind of got screwed with the whole Spectrum thing. I mean, they had the most customers, and mobile data was skyrocketing.
Right.
You had COVID. You had all of that, and Verizon's network was struggling. You had lots and lots of Band 13 sites, lots and lots of low backhaul sites, and they had no spectrum to deploy. And so, it was actually better for them to have people leave than, I don't know.
Have a degraded experience, right?
Right. And so now why not get that back from T-Mobile? Let's make them hurt. We can. Why not? Let's go do it.
Gotcha.
I mean, no CEO likes to be, I mean, yeah, I know nobody sells it better than T-Mobile. I think that's a big part of why their stock, why the street likes them. I mean, they can sell ice to Eskimos on those earnings calls, but it feels like Verizon is just, I mean, they've kind of crested. It feels like they've crested the hill, and it's going to be a lot easier for them. They're going to be able to onboard a lot of customers for a long time. All they got to do is get the backhaul upgraded on the rest of their sites. I mean, they, even with only 160 megahertz of N77 plus LTE plus, Band 46, they can push 2 gig if they've got the backhaul, and they'll be good for a long time.
Yeah, you also keep in mind that Verizon and AT&T are in the meat grinder of their modification processes. This is the most grueling and slow and painful part of what we're gonna see from the network builders. Once Verizon gets all those N13 only sites, modernized and ready to, finally upgraded, right? Those sites are gonna be good for 10, 15 years.
Yeah, long time.
Plus, they will have the ability to have additional carriers added with little to no, intrusive work. Like they're all set up for the future, and it takes longer to do all this. I mean, we got to keep in mind T-Mobile had like effectively a greenfield network build. They just built all new stuff, which is way easier and takes way less time. So
absolutely.
The fact that Verizon and AT&T,
you think people forget, EM, that Verizon was transitioning from Nokia to Samsung in half their markets?
Yeah, I think a lot of people forget about that.
Yeah,
and that's not easy to do. It's
right.
Look at T-Mobile's Nokia to Ericsson markets. They are and were and still are an absolute shit show when it comes to the way that they built the way they built things. People post pictures on Twitter of 2 T-Mobile racks on the same tower, like just the most
crazy. That is crazy.
I've never seen that from another provider ever.
It's so unusual to me how stuff gets left behind. There's like Nextel stuff, Sprint stuff. I've seen all types of madness. And like the tower owners are just like, whatever. Like, is that how that works?
one
could assume that T-Mobile is paying 2 leases for that site.
Ooh. Yeah, it depends. A lot of times that they have what's called a pay and walk, where they look at a map and they say there's X number of sites, and hey, we have a contract. We're going to be doing this many amendments, this many new sites over X time, and it's all baked in. And as a result, we pay you for that, and we walk from these sites. It's not unusual. You see it lots of places, but Nextel did it a bunch, Sprint did it a bunch. Now you're seeing it, with T-Mobile. But there's other markets. I mean, M&A is hard, but if you look in markets where Verizon did some M&A, back in the day, there was some Altel, and
you see some of that in Kentucky with like Bluegrass and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And it's always those weird sites. It's not in the suburbs. It's not in the metros. It's
no.
On the edges and stuff.
Tower
like
space is a premium in the metros. Every tower's got every carrier, and that it doesn't happen near as much in the metros.
You should see what goes on in the DFW. It's what you guys are talking about is very contrary to what T-Mobile does in DFW. There's a guy down there who posts them all the time.
Who is it? Network Ninja?
No, his name is Sam.
Okay.
2 T-Mobile sites on the same water tower. T-Mobile sites with different azimuths on the same site. T-Mobile.
From my understanding, EM, water towers are a nightmare. So to have double the gear on a water tower is crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, he showed me a picture of a site that had 2 T-Mobile racks, a Sprint, abandoned Sprint rack, and then a Nextel rack. Like, it was 3 racks of abandoned equipment, and then 1 that was actually working. Like, you can't tell me that's not some sort of like management lapse or something. Like, they have to be someone screwed up somewhere multiple times in that process.
You need to understand too that sometimes water tower owners are the worst. Like, I mean, they're owned by municipalities and cities and towns. They're not owned by the national tower rental companies, and so leases and access and stuff can just be a nightmare. So I can see things being crazier on water towers than regular towers.
Retweet to that, brother.
Hey, Carlos said T-Mobile scam people on those free lines. Did you see Reddit how people are getting charged for them and got told different when they called asking why? I made the video about that because people had discussed it. I always tell people, keep checking your bills, man.
Mm-hmm.
Keep checking your bills because you agreed to something and then something else happens. These reps, I don't know what they're doing. The systems, I don't know what they're flagging or they're triggering. I don't know. But you want to catch it as soon as it happens because, once you lose certain codes or something, I don't know if you'll be able to get certain things back, especially with those those insider discounts and all that other stuff. People got all those free lines. I mean, all of it's compromised. Thanks, Gene. Appreciate you. Tan, appreciate you as well. Thanks for becoming members. Ellie Kim said, Americans want subsidized phones, though, so that's never going to stop, in my humble opinion. Yeah, when Trump tariffs kick in, yeah. They're not going to want to pay $3,000 for an iPhone made in New Jersey.
I've seen Apple flew like 6 jets full of iPhones over in preparation for this. And then now there's like this temporary hold on tariffs on electronics.
What up, Brown B? Loki is plugging his visible code. Relentless, man. Yes, sir. Billy says T-Mobile gave me a free line and then charged for it, so I'm looking at leaving postpaid and getting prepaid, maybe. Oh, look, here we go. He's back plugging it. Low key, you might want to get low key. Really don't want to have to hit you with the band hammer. I haven't used the band hammer in years, dude. Oh my God, he did it again. All right, mods, form Voltron. Get it out of here. Oh my God, man. What is it? Avengers Assemble? Isn't that what Captain America said? Oh God. Come on, man. Leave my president out of this. Trump said tech won't get tariff. All right, man. Glad to hear it. I'm telling you, Daniel, diabolical out here with the promo codes. I'm telling you, man. Diabolical. Did you guys catch this story? I think I just recorded a video. I'll probably drop it tomorrow. T-Mobile Fiber could see 5 million customers and $5 billion in revenue in the next 4 years. What do you think?
Okay.
Go ahead, Brandon.
You sound like you have more knowledge about the story, but go ahead.
No, it's just interesting you bring it up. I was just on the T-Fiber website and on the Lumos website poking around, looking at their coverage maps, and I'm hearing just insider, in the industry, the Fiber Broadband Association and FISPA and contractors and suppliers and stuff, and everybody's talking about T-Mobile. I mean that they're going to hit it hard. So I think it, despite what Eugene says, that they are looking at, bundled services, and despite the fact that he somehow seems to think that they have less churn in Verizon Fios markets. I don't know where he's pulling that out, but I think their actions are proving otherwise. But yeah, I think they're going to try and hit it hard. I think they're going to go after BEAD funding, and everything I'm hearing is that they're for real. They're gonna have a lot of passings.
All right. I went ahead and posted the StreamYard link if you guys want to call in and make a comment or ask a question. Ahmad, a G for Sheed. You say you love T-Mobile and you say Verizon is trash and T-Mobile's the best. Cool. You say you love data breaches and Netflix. All right. Why don't you come on and talk to us about the Netflix and data breaches? What the hell? Come on by, man. The link is in the chat. Hit it.
Sneed, I think T-Mobile is gonna have more partnerships with more fiber companies, and probably by 2030 they might just end up buying them after a while in order for it to actually happen.
Well, I mean, dude, nobody's telling them no. They've gotten everything they wanted approved.
That's right.
What up, Tana?
What's going on? I'm US Cellular's whore for the night. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I spread them wide for US Cellular. Let's go.
Bro, they haven't been in Chicago in how long, man? Didn't they sell?
20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They sold to
you're
Verizon.
committed for the long term, bro.
Oh, bro, I know, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm a faithful whore. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, Tana? What's good, bro?
Hey, man, chilling. What's good with you, man?
Hey, you see it, man.
Yes,
Friday, we're chilling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just been busy working on this ESPN project with Pat the Designer and the Bears podcast and everything. So that's going pretty
progress?
Cool. Hey, it's going pretty doggone cool. He done moved up to the big station. So now he's going to be nationwide in a minute. So that's great news.
Well, congrats and blessings, man.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for the support with guys like you on this panel and the chat. Man. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you guys. I appreciate y'all.
Salute to Tana, man. Appreciate you for being here, man. Stopping by. I dropped the link. Somebody was in the live chat talking about they love data breaches and Netflix. I'm trying to get them in here on the panel, bro.
Why not? I mean, they was talking jazzy in the chat, though. For real, yeah.
I'd never heard that combination. That's the first time I ever heard of that. Data breaches and Netflix. You know what I mean? Oh my god. All right, so I'm gonna take one at a time. So let's go with Noah first, and then we'll get to Dusty. What up, Noah? What's going on, man? Okay, no, we lost Noah. All right, let's see if we get Noah back. If Noah doesn't come back, then we'll get Rage and Dusty up in here.
Summoning Noah like a Tesla. Summon Noah.
Some manure.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, we'll give him like 30 seconds if he can make it back in and get signed in. We'll take his call. If not, we're gonna jump over to Dusty. So Dusty, hang tight for 1 second.
That's right.
So we try to get Noah back because I want to give everybody a chance. I want to be more interactive, of course. I like that.
That's dope. I
want to stand out a little bit, Tana. You know what I'm saying? I want to be different.
Hey, that's why I rock with you for sure.
Yeah.
What up, Carlos?
Los is in there, man. All right, let's get Dusty in here and we'll see if we can get Noah back. No problem. What up, Dusty?
Not much.
Talk to me, man. What's your take on these Verizon enhancements and all the moves you've been seeing from the VZ side of things?
Enough to become my primary.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Last I checked, I think you had a phone under financing with AT&T.
I have phones under financing on Verizon as well, so it doesn't matter.
Ooh, okay. All right. So you're willing to move regardless, huh?
Yep.
So are you rocking with Verizon through the prepaid channels? Or are you doing it through postpaid? What's kind of your approach?
Postpaid, unlimited ultimate.
What's the, not to get in your business, but what's the bill per month going with the postpaid now? Because I remember it's $300 for half a line when I was with Verizon.
Oh no. Let's say I have 6 lines, 2 wearables. 2 of the lines are wearables, 1 line's a tablet, and 3 lines are phone lines.
What's your bill?
With 3 of the devices being financed and plus the credits, normally my bill would be like $380 without discounts, but with the discounts right now, we're talking more like $320.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, you're doing all right. All right, let me see if I can get Tana back in here. Tana, you in here?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry that tequila kicked in. I'm sorry. Yeah, you said $300 for like 9,000 lines. Hey, that's worth it.
All right, now you're just tripping. Come on, dog.
No, you got 6 lines. No, that ain't bad.
No, I have every carrier, and I only have T-Mobile for testing because they're trash.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
they're not even.
Thank you, man.
They're not even in the S25 Plus. They're in the Pixel. T-Mobile's in the Pixel.
All right.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro, that's not a bad price. He's doing all right for himself because I know people that are paying more.
Absolutely, for 1 line.
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah, Verizon got me, bro. What you mean?
Nah, man, you've been out of them for a while. The last I checked, you with Boost, and before that, I think you were rocking with Spectrum or Xfinity.
No, it's Verizon. I had an HTC Sensation, my guy.
Bro, you were talking like 2010, bro. Stop playing. That was like when LTE first became a thing, bro.
Right.
It might have been 3G. I don't know.
Bro, the first carrier to have LTE in my market was Verizon.
Yeah, I believe it. With band 13, right?
It was band 13 only, and that site still has band 13 only.
That's a damn shame.
Yeah.
That's a damn shame.
It's an
It's
atrocity.
2025, and that site hasn't been touched since 2011.
Bro, they've been run amok in Maine, bro. I'm serious about this.
Same here, Dusty. My home site here closest to me is still band 13 only.
This is why our people don't have nothing, bro. You stuck with band 13 only sites. Some bullshit.
I heard that bands make it dance, though. You know?
Uh-huh.
And well, pretty soon we're going to have a new site built inside of town and not just outside of town that should have C-band on it.
All right, Dusty. Let me get to this other caller here, man. Appreciate you calling and checking in, man. Thank you.
Shout out, Dusty.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
All right, let me get to Rolando. Rolando, what up?
Give me your money.
Oh, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro.
That sound like
Give me
Verizon.
your money.
That sound like Verizon right there.
Bro, I'm gonna need a ham sandwich or something, bro. Chill out.
Give me your ham sandwich. Give me bologna.
Brazzers.
What's up, man?
The Brazzers fiber.
Oh, that's badass.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Gig
It's
down in 300 up. Well, apparently I went down to 300 temporary, but I'm going back to gigabit because I have extra money to afford it since, things change around and stuff like that.
Oh, good, man. Because the last I checked, you were trying to do the T-Mobile home internet thing, but
it's not in my house no more. I used to have it, but not anymore now.
Oh, shit.
Wait, you can't get it at your house anymore?
No, because I think there's a lot of people who have like T-Mobile internet as well as Verizon home internet, both of them. I think a lot of people can't afford the fiber because it's too expensive. I can, but some people
What are
can't.
they charging?
They charge $100 for a month for a gig.
Wait, and you only get 300? That's Comcast.
No, that's upload.
Cheaper.
That's the upload speed.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Comcast gives you a gig by 300 now if you have mid-split.
I know. It's just the way it is. It's just how my town is anyway. Yeah. I heard
Where
about
are your
the Verizon
providers?
hotspot. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing about, the Verizon hotspot from Sneed and everyone else, basically.
No, who are your cell providers?
T-Mobile.
Oh.
For the last 9 years.
What plan are you on with them?
I'm on the T-Mobile Go 5G Next.
Oh, bro, you should have just kept the OnePlus International.
Wait, did you get a phone and stuff, Rolando, with them?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, man.
I only pay $20 a month.
Appreciate you. Thanks for coming by, Dwayne.
That's
I only pay $20 a month for a S24 Ultra 512 gig.
You storing porn on there, sir?
Really? Oh yeah. Besides porn, it's like you guys want to tattle about it. T-Mobile is going to be upgrading my basically tower possibly to 10 gigs. You know what the frequency I'm getting? 2 N41s, 100 megahertz each. 2x2, which is N25 is 2x2, so it's 4. So I'm getting about over 340 megahertz of spectrum. So sooner or later, T-Mobile is going to wipe the shit out of Verizon in my area.
Bro,
this is going to be a massive, huge difference on my side because I'm close to this area.
The Magenta Mafia has spoken.
I'm seeing a I'm seeing 4x4 carrier aggregation in T-Mobile 5G standalone.
Yeah, but 4x4 carrier aggregation it's probably 20 megahertz of N71, 20 megahertz of N25. That's 40. And then your N41 is going to be 190 at most.
320, 330. Because it's 2 N41s, it's 100 megahertz piece, and 2 N25s, that's 40.
Rolando, my guy, bro. Listen, dude, I let everybody come up here and say what they got to say, but you ain't going to come up here and start lying, bro.
Uh-oh. Somebody's fabricating.
You can't just come up here and start making up numbers. That's not how that works. So the numbers are, they at maximum hold 190 megahertz of N41. And they might have N71 at 20 maybe 30 at most if they're getting some from Columbia Capital or whatever. And then they got
my market,
and then 25. What do they have? 25 maybe in your market? I don't know.
Well, my market has N71, which is 20 megahertz.
Okay.
And N25, which is another 20 megahertz.
Okay, we're at 40.
But however, they're actually aggregating, so that's double the aggregation. So it's 2x2, and then N41 is a 100 megahertz times 2, so that brings it over to around 330 megahertz.
So why are you multiplying by 2? What does that even mean?
Aggregating connection.
That's when you add the bandwidth together. You don't multiply it together.
Well, to me, I mean, well, for y'all, it might be opinion, but the way I see it, like the way basic aggregation, apparently you pretty much all your channels together, and you're getting like a large chunk of bandwidth.
When you put things together, you add them together. You don't multiply them.
God.
So what I'm saying is you're not doing the math right. The math is 20 plus 20 plus 190. It's not. There's no multiplication. You're just adding the bandwidth together. You don't multiply the bandwidth.
Well, I'll probably post a screenshot of what I'm getting in my area because I'm getting a massive amount of bandwidth. I mean,
right, I understand, but that the bandwidth you're seeing on your phone, it's used for downlink and uplink. So you're not doubling up the bandwidth. It's the same bandwidth being used on both sides, downlink and uplink.
Mm-hmm.
So you may be confusing it and seeing the N25 is contributing to downlink and uplink. It's 20 megahertz of it. It's paired. So it's 20 megahertz on downlink, 20 megahertz on uplink. It's just 20 megahertz.
I guess you're right.
I don't want you to know
too much about it.
Well, when you look in the service mode, you'll see it'll say downlink and then it'll say uplink, and that it'll confuse you if you think they're separate. It's the same. It's not additional bandwidth.
Well, it seems bad, but this is all standalone 5G on T-Mobile.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, that's the same thing I see here. It's 4 carrier aggregation. It's 50. Well, here we only have 15 of N71. You have 20.
Right.
So we have 15 N71, 20 N25, and then 190 N41. So that's how that works.
let me get my phone real quick. I know I'm a little sweaty because I've been out all day. My back's been killing me for the last couple of hours.
All right, Rolando. Thanks for calling in, man. We'll see if we can get you on later. I'm going to jump to the next person.
Yes, sir. We really appreciate you, Rolando. All right.
Appreciate it, buddy.
All right, GD.
All right. Let me get Donald in here. What up, Don? Donald, where are you at, sir?
Nothing much. In Rockford, Illinois.
Oh, hey, Ill State. What's up, bro?
Yeah. Oh, I ditched that helium because I was getting 3G speeds when both Verizon and AT&T were taking turns beating the hell out of T-Mobile.
That's the truth.
Yo, Donald, the last time you were in that Walmart, bro, which cell phone provider was working?
Can't recall. AT&T and Verizon seemed to be,
were you in Sam's Club or Costco?
More usable. I can't recall. Usually it's Verizon that might give a little issue sometimes, but but with Unlimited Ultimate, it seems to work a lot better all over the place. So that's pretty good. So at least it's better than Visible Plus, where I'd end up having. It sounds like you're breaking up a bit.
Hey, Donald,
is that visible?
Donald, I wanted to ask you, what do you think of these new enhancements to the new Unlimited Ultimate plan? Like, what's your take on those value adds?
It sounds like it's just in time for storm season, especially since the storm chasers might need every bit of it.
Oh, shit. They need the hotspot, huh?
Yeah, and people that are dealing with long power outages will need every bit of that hotspot to keep an eye on stuff if they have an iPad or laptop that they need to keep up and running.
What up, Broke Sim? I don't know how long I'll be on for, man. We've already been on for an hour and a half, so I'm not sure how much longer. But if anybody else wants to jump in, I wanted to make sure I kind of gave everybody the platform to jump on and say their piece
Oh,
or questions, comments, concerns.
The only downside is if they upped it to like 15 Mbps after the 200, that would actually be excellent because then it would actually kick Visible Plus Pro's butt no matter which way you look at it.
I think there's going to be a version of this where people are going to be paying for a little bit extra speed. I think Verizon's going to end up doing like speed tiers with that hotspot. I mean, if they could make an extra $5,
just as long as the hotspot doesn't set your phone on fire.
Nah, I hear you, Donald.
Wow.
Yo, shout out to Rockford, Illinois, man.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah. It's pretty bad when T-Mobile is so bad that you'd almost rather have DSL because at least when it works, it actually would give you better performance than whatever monstrosity that T-Mobile is.
Yo, Donald, have you tried the home internet before from T-Mobile?
No, I'd rather stab myself in the eye than try that because the way T-Mobile phone service is, it's
very passionate. Yeah. Dang.
Oh, damn. Yo, Donald came for blood, bro.
How's AT&T your area?
Pretty good. It's it would be good if someone attacked the Verizon tower. I'd still have AT&T as a backup. So.
Mm-hmm. Yo, what happened to this guy?
A few hundred down and 7 up usually on AT&T. So
I'm more of a ginger ale kind of guy. What happened to this dude right here?
Ooh, Ahmad. Hey.
What happened to him? I wanted to know more about the data breaches in the Netflix, bro.
Hey,
that was like literally comment of the day.
Yeah.
Somebody must have been brainwashed with extra groups of Tide or something. I don't know.
What up, Ben? All right, guys, we're gonna post the link one last time. If anybody's gonna jump in, cool. If not, we'll be wrapping up the show here in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
I actually got a price cut on Verizon a couple months ago. It just went down by 55 cents after rising only 11 cents the month before.
Verizon is hiding.
It might be a fee.
Yeah.
Well, I guess having a one tablet and one phone plan helps probably.
Oh, gotcha.
Wait a minute, man. You said you got a discount of 55 cents. Why don't you call in and get the $10 loyalty discount?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm new to them with the new tablet and phone. I don't know if that'd qualify.
It's worth a shot, man. You tell them you're gonna port out. Be like, yo, with the discount.
Yeah, and T-Mobile didn't get too strict. They ran my credit in the skull and crossbones came on the screen. Huh.
I'm just happy getting a good pricing for what I get. Besides, if it ends up acting screwy, I'll just call in for a $10 credit for it acting up. So
infinite darkness.
It's very rare.
I want to give a shout out to Majar Orsag. Shout out to Hungary. We got Zoli Moldavani. What up?
Who's hungry?
Majar.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, he's from Hungary.
Budapest, bro. Budapest.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Oh man, Infinite Darkness is coming in. He said, "This guy's an idiot. I had one phone and one watch, and I was paying $120 a month. They wouldn't give me a $10 loyalty. They said the best they could do is $2. Man, I would have left.
Sound like Xfinity Mobile.
I would have left, Doug.
Yeah.
I wouldn't stick
around. I think Xfinity Mobile is now 100 gigs on premium.
Oh.
Yeah, they got better. They got much more competitive. And I guess if you get the right deal, they'll give you a free line for a year.
They better.
You still rock? You don't rock with them at all anymore. Bro.
No. I'm Boost.
You're all Boost all day.
All day.
So is that your primary and only, or do you have any secondary pieces?
No, that's my primary and only, and my bat phone. You know what I'm saying? For when I get on scumbag activities. Yeah.
Wait, how?
Oh.
I gotta have that Android for the scumbaggery.
No, but I'm saying, like, how do you make Boost Mobile your primary?
Easy. Just pay $65 a month.
You get the iPhone and you get the service.
That's right. Get it free.
Wow.
Oh shit, I haven't heard this before. This is new. The Forgotten Ways of IMX says Verizon 5G home is so mid. One cloud in the sky and boom, you have packet loss and latency variation. Man, I'd return that sucker. I wouldn't pay for that. Because that's gonna the thing about packet loss and latency variation is it's gonna be unusable for gaming.
Yeah.
And you're probably gonna get buffering video if the packet loss is bad enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
A
laptop with a tablet plan would probably work better than that.
Yeah. Well.
Big Up says, I'm paying $35 a month, bucko, for Visible Plus Pro. There's nothing that can beat that.
Well, okay, so difficult. I've heard really good things about T-Mobile in South Beach and Miami, so I'm kind of surprised. My one of my better friends, uses every service provider in the Miami area, and he says T-Mobile's pretty good. In fact, he uses Mint, which is, the prepaid version of T-Mobile.
Oh my goodness! No.
By the way, shout out to Mint, man. We got a partner link. It's in the description.
Oh, shout out to Mint. Yeah, they almost had me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mint almost had me.
Could have saved some dough, bro.
Hey, Sneed, have you heard that Dish laid off some executives?
Really?
Yep, this week.
I mean, they don't want to pay them their bucks anymore. They just want to get rid of them, or did they do something wrong?
I think they're just trying to be cheap and try to save every dollar that they possibly can.
They'll replace them with AI.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't even think AI will. I don't even think they can even afford AI.
Not even the. What about the robots? The Elon robots?
No, but I think they can only afford the Edmonds.
They could probably afford brain damaged AI, but that's.
You leave Elon's technology alone. He discovered that we was paying taxes for transgender pet shows.
All right, man. As we've been on for an hour and a half. You guys are the best. Thank you, Tana. Thank you, EM. Thanks, B. Appreciate you guys. Donald, Dusty, everybody who called in, man. I appreciate you guys. Rolando, is good to see everybody. All my members, all my Patreon supporters, you guys are the best. Everybody for the super chats, the super stickers. You guys are amazing. Speed Test Channel, EM Tech. There were a couple before that too. I think Santiago dropped by. I think Nimmer was here earlier. Gene, salute to you, and Tana for re-upping on the memberships. Yeah, appreciate you guys.
I
man.
appreciate you, Brody.
Thanks for holding us down, man. You guys are the best. And by the way, I got some good videos up and coming. I'm gonna try to do more live streams this week. I'm gonna try to do a couple more to try to catch up with you guys, because I am gonna be on spring break, so I should be able to produce more content. Try to do a couple more live streams, and we're gonna try to do this interaction thing with the link a little bit more often from time to time. So thanks for everything, everybody. Please do like the video on the way out, and we out this piece.
Yeah.
Peace.